So this is me being totally sober, not on anything. And in the middle of the night, this happened about a month ago. I was in my bed and I couldn't sleep, and I was being spoken to, and it was different than the voices in my head. You know, you have your intrusive thoughts. Different. It wasn't intrusive. It was like, hi. And I'm like, and it was like, I didn't push it away because I'm like, I don't know what this is. Kind of freaked me out a little bit, like almost like, who's talking to me? Like, is there somebody in the room, you know? And I was told to, you know, go into my bathroom. So like, it's just like, go to the bathroom. And I have this hand mirror that was my grandmother's, you know, just like an old, you know, like makeup mirror kind of thing. It's like a hand mirror. It's very hefty. And she was instructing me to first drink some water because I need to stay hydrated. It was like this weird, almost like she's looking out for me thing. And she's like, and I would like for you to face the light in the window and look in the mirror. And I swear to God, and that makes me sound so crazy when I say this shit out loud.
I'm with you.
But so I looked in the mirror, but instead of seeing my face, I saw this other woman. She had this kind of rounder nose and dark features, but kind of lighter hair. And it was like, okay. And I set it down. And then she said, hello, you can call me Nim. And I would like to tell you my story. And would you be able to dictate that into your, like, just write it down. So I sat under my covers because I'm trying not to like wake Joey up. I sat under my covers with my iPad, and she just dictated this story to me. And I'm not sure if I sent it to you, but it was the story of the Lady of the Lake. And it was the first two, it was, you know, were like the precursor. And then she says, okay, now let me tell you things from the beginning, and this is going to get intense. And I don't write about other people. Like my MO is always me trying to figure out the mess in my head. And what I was doing is literally telling this woman's story. So she was, you know, from an indigenous tribe in Tennessee, before the lake got flooded over.
Yeah, right.
And her family was stolen from her. She was born of rape. And that's why she had lighter hair. There was a blonde man with blue eyes that raped her mother, and she was born out of that. But when the raids were happening in her tribe, she escaped to the rivers surrounding, and she kind of raised herself in the woods, and she saw everything happening. She was very like aware, but she kept to herself so that she would not be found. And then her heroic story that she told me in the end is that she actually ended up going back and murdering most of the people that were like, she took names. She was like up in the trees, like covered in mud so she wouldn't be seen.
Yeah, right.
This was the wildest thing I've ever done because it wasn't like I was writing the story. It was, she's dictating and I'm writing it as fast as I can.
Kind of a funnel.
And when it all came out, usually like with my spillage, I got to go back and be like, okay, there's bad spelling. This is not what I want to, you know, and this was all written like it was just told before a million times, and I didn't have anything to say. And so when I credited, I was like, poem by Lzzy. I'm like, no, and Nim. And then, so the next morning, here's the weirdest thing, right? So the next morning, I usually have like a little cup of tea before bed. So I had my like teacup.
What's your tea that before?
I like a raspberry hibiscus tea. Like it's kind of like a ender, like reminds me of wine, you know? And under my teacup, on the little napkin that I had, there were like the whatever collective stain and tea leaves that were there. And it literally looked like the profile of the woman that I saw in the mirror. So I kept